Hello my dear viewers, welcome to another episode of my resume parser. As usual, this is Namaya Shamila, software engineering student from Makerere University, presenting the resume parser. But for this episode, we are going to look at the explanatory data analysis of our model, whereby we're going to look at the different features that we got from our datasets. We're going to look at the different graphs that we came up from the data cleaning and exploration. We're going to look at the box plot, we're going to look at outlier plots, correlation matrices, feature independence plots, and all these were derived from our data. So please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Earlier, this is Namaya Shamila, software engineering student from Makerere University, with my resume parser model, episode 5, or let's call it episode 2. Now for this time, we're going to carry out the explanatory data analysis, which is the process of inspecting, cleaning, and modeling data in order to find useful information. And this useful information that we always come up with includes the heat map, the correlation matrix, the box plot, and outlier plots. All these are graphs that we come up with from the dataset. But as we know that our model uses text data, so our very first step will be to convert the text data into numerical data that is in an array to help us plot those above graphs. To start with, there is what we call the heat map. Now these heat maps, they help us visualize the data in a 2D colored maps, making the use of color variations like hue, saturation, or luminance. Heat maps describe the relationship between variables in form of colors instead of numbers, and these variables are plotted on both axes. And as you can see, this is my y and this is my x axis. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to change the color variations in this heat map. It would have come out very well basing on this color scale. We also have correlation matrices. A correlation matrix is simply a table showing the correlation coefficients between variables. And this table below, it used data from our dataset, that is a PDF by Anva Goval. And as you can see, we came up with all these. I'm going to show you how all these graphs come about on our model. We also have the box plot, and with the box plot, it's just a type of chart that depicts the numerical data, a group of numerical data through their quartiles. It's a simple way to visualize the shape of our data by splitting it. It displays the 5 values, that is the minimum, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum value. Now we have the outlier. An outlier is let's call it a value that lies way beyond the rest of the other values in our graph. And as you can look here, our outlier, we have this outlier here that's in the upper quartile, and also this other outlier here that lies in the lower quartile. We have the feature independence plots that represent data points on a two-dimensional plane or in a Cartesian system. The independent variable or the attribute is placed on the y, this y, while the dependent variable is placed on the independent one is placed on the x axis, as the dependent one is placed on the y axis as seen. We also have data splitting and training. This model will read and extract data of all formats from different resumes provided. Those formats, we have the PDFs, we have the Word documents. It won't be specific to just one type of documents, but rather work with all kinds. And after going through, it will split the data and return different fields like the name, the email, and phone number. All this is best demonstrated from our model, and I'm going to show you all that. The training model is used to run the input data through the algorithm to correlate the processed output against the sample output, and the result of this correlation is used to modify the model. So we're going to feed our model with data, but then it is like we're going to train our model basing on that data set that's been provided to it. And our data set is a PDF. And that PDF uses different keywords. These keywords include skills, include career objectives, they include education history, include hyperparameters. Now, what are hyperparameters? These are values that are used during training to estimate the value of model parameters. And this being a model that uses text. It uses text and the basis is keywords. So we are going to use the keywords provided as our parameters. These keywords include education, they include qualification, include skills, include interest and projects. And all these are collected from the different regions provided. So I gave an instance of adding a new keyword such as marital status, meaning whichever resume that will be returned has to also contain the marital status as part of it, meaning these keywords determine which information is going to be returned and what is not going to be returned. We shall only return that candidate whose resume matches the most keywords. And if we add something like marital status, it has to also be part of whatever will be returned. I'm now going to take you and have a look at my model where we came up with all these box plots, the outliers, everything. I'm going to have a look. So this is our model. We're having a look at it. I began by installing pip, installing ticker, as you can see here. I had to also load my dataset. I loaded my dataset as shown. As I told you earlier, it's a PDF. Yes, it's a PDF. I installed ticker. Then I have to read the data. Then from ticker we import the parser. As you can see, this is the file that contains my dataset. That's a PDF, as I told you. Then we continue. Now here you see that we try to fetch all the information that is in the dataset. Our dataset contains this is the person, Anova Gloria, has the date of birth, gender, objective, education, qualification. That we try to fetch all the information that is in the dataset. Our dataset contains This is the person, and below has the date of birth, gender, objective, education, qualification, their skills here, internships and trainings, projects. Now all this is what is in our data set. All this, as you can see, the phone number is there. So this is the data set that we are going to use to train our model. It is what is going to provide that input data that our model is going to use to do what it is supposed to do. We came down here into the data splitting. You can look at the past content. When you put email, our model will have to return this, as you can see. Then it's split. Then you will see here phone number, and that is the output. We also imported Specie, and this is a library that helped us work on our project. Can look here, Specie first name, last name, and these are proper nouns. All this is like training. The good thing with our model is that it was, when you input that, you realize that this is the output it gives us. I also told you that we are going to use these keywords as our hyperparameters. They have education, summary, accomplishments, interests, skills, qualifications, and we have nothing like marital status. So in case we are to add marital status as part, meaning whichever person will be returning must also have marital status as a keyword. As you continue to see, we have keywords here, sorting the indices. You can see now these are our keywords. Then we keep the required content and remove the redundant. So this is like, it is like now cleaning. It is like cleaning the data and leaving us with only what we want. So this is the past. Like after the cleaning, this is what we always come up with. As you can see, it has removed all that we do not want, and it leaves us with this, their skills, their the interests, the hobbies. So it looked at that PDF and it got our keywords, and it got those keywords, attached them to what they hold, and produced, it extracted the unnecessaries they weren't given to us. Only important information was left, as you can see. Only important information was left. We went ahead to import JSON. Imported JSON. Now we also had the model fitting here. Model fitting, as you can see, the email is here, phone number is here, name, objective, education, as you can see, interests, and all this. It's all that we need. It also shows us the libraries that we worked with, the keywords, as I mentioned earlier, as you can see. Even this is the text. And now I told you, since we are working with text data, we had to first convert our data into numerical data. Imported Panda, we used Keras, we used the tokenizer to help us, and this is our array, as I told you. And this array is what helped us get the heat map. So you can see we imported different libraries, matplotlib for plotting, came up the box plot, the correlation matches,